You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including Feng Shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Larraine Crawford. Hello, and welcome to episode 143 of the Holistic Interior Design Podcast. Today, I'm talking about the top 8 ways I'm leveling up my own personal design business in 2024, and I definitely invite you to join me on this journey. Wanted to share with you what I'm doing and love to hear what you're doing. And then there is a special invitation for those of you that are in the Design Coven to join me. So before we get started, I want to go ahead and just thank the sponsor of Design Coven. Design Coven is our sponsor for this episode and for our podcast. If you're an interior designer that is seeking a vibrant community that transcends the ordinary, look no further. The Design Coven is not just a membership, it's an immersive experience where intuition meets innovation. Discover holistic approaches to interior design, explore the fusion of spirituality and design, and level up your skills and business. As a sponsor of the Holistic Interior Design Podcast, the Design Coven invites you to join the community of like-minded interior designers, where the alchemy of creativity and conscious living takes center stage. With 2 tiers to choose from, we've got our free community tier, and then we have our pro member tier offering that is $97 a month for those of you that want to dive in deeper into your design practices. So what we've got in store with the Design Coven are 3 monthly virtual workshops, including the free all members New Moon intention setting gathering. That is for all members, free community, and pro members. We've got our group coaching, which is for our pro member tier. That's where we get personal with group coaching from myself or a guest that I might have on. We also do a mini workshop, so getting access to practical actions that you can take to enhance your business. And then we've got Mystic Circle, which happens with the pro members. This is where we strengthen our intuition so that we have a more aligned design practice. We also offer quarterly in-person co-working events, which is free to all members. And then we've got a library of resources for pro members, plus an exclusive podcast, actually a secret podcast, the Design Coven podcast, where pro members get deeper insights, past trainings, workshops, and meetings. So it's about 1.5 years of past events that you have access to. So please join us over at designcoven.com/join to join our community. Alrighty, with that, I am going to go ahead and set our space. So I'm lighting a candle. I've created this beautiful blue throat chakra beeswax candle for this year, and just connecting us with the element of fire, creativity, connection, passionate designer. And then I'm going to pull a tarot card for us. And let's see what we've got. So our card today. Ooh, it's the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is the card of feeling stuck, being caught between a rock and a hard place. It's the sword. So whenever you get a card that has a sword, you have to think of it as it's an air sign, so it's logic, it's mind stuff. So this is a mindset of feeling like you're stuck or that there's only one way out. Know that you are your own hero. You can get yourself unstuck. You can work your way out of this bind that you feel like you're in. And it's all about changing your mindset, connecting with other people, connecting with tools that you have, connect with us in our community. You don't have to go about your business the same old. There's different ways of going about life, business, and all the other things in between. Alrighty, the 8 of Swords. So we're diving in. At the beginning of the year, I love just kind of thinking of ways that I'm going to be leveling up my life, leveling up my business, thinking about the things that I want to bring into the year. So I've got 8 of them this year that I would like to share with you. And you're welcome to take any of these, leave any of these that don't resonate. But I thought I would just share from my own personal experience since it's Thursday and we get to go a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm doing personally with my own business and life. So the first thing that I've got on my list is improving my business processes and procedures. So I'm currently working with my assistant, Jana, who's been a huge help. I hired Jana in September of this last year, 2023, to help me get organized just because I had stuff all over the place. I'm a creator. I like creating. I like doing new things. I don't like organizing. I don't like following through on things. So I really needed her to take on that role for me. And she's been a huge help. With all of that, we are creating our system and processes. So we're creating a guide of how do you place orders? How do you request a quote from somebody? Having specifics on what you do step by step so that when we do grow, because the intention is to grow, to hire designers, to have other people be part of my design business, Tiger Veil, we wanted it to be very easy for training and that we're all following the same procedure. So we're creating that. We're creating our welcome guide, our spreadsheets for budgets, just putting everything together. So that's one thing that we're working on. We're dialing that in right now. Number 2 is about being intentional about the clients and projects that I take on. I'm kind of taking this from last year and expanding on it and diving in deeper with it. It's really important. The people that I spend my time with, the people that I work with. This past year, I have had experiences that I wasn't too happy with as far as certain clients or contractors or people that I was just working with. So I really want to be intentional about who I work with and what projects I take on. I want to be excited by them. I want to be inspired by them. I want to feel good when I get a phone call from them. So it's really important. This is, you're going into partnerships with people. So you want to make sure that you're truly aligned energetically, and it makes you feel expansive when you're with them and not feeling belittled or small by working with them. And, I had an experience this year where a contractor and I had to come to a meeting to really set things straight because we're both feeling, not connected and not aligned. And after having that meeting, I feel good again. I feel excited by it. So I'm excited that, we kind of got through that hurdle, but sometimes we do have to have these conversations, just kind of expressing where we're coming from, our expectations, that kind of thing. Number 3 is attending industry conferences. So last year was the first time I went to High Point, and that was a really amazing, fun experience. I've gone to the Las Vegas market before. I'm not going to be going this year, but I know a lot of Design Coven members are thinking about it. So if that's you, I'll be putting a post in, just trying to connect you all if you guys want to join at the Las Vegas market this year, which is super fun. But I am going to be attending more conferences and more events and doing more traveling, connecting into this design field. I am going to be going to the CNEX Continuing Education Conference with Cosentino in February. So I will give you an update on what's going on with that. I'm also going to be spending some time at Modernism Week in Palm Springs, where I will be connecting with a few other designers that are higher level than where I am. So I'm really wanting to connect myself, being in a community of other designers that are further along in their design business practices and just with, what they're doing. So leveling up myself and in the company that I'm keeping, as well as attending those conferences and, just networking more. You can never network enough. So, reaching out to these other companies that are doing really exciting, cool things, just again, being connected with community of designers that are further along in their careers. Number 4, I'm actually working on getting my general contractor's license. I'm going to be mentoring with one of my contractors, shadowing them. They're going to shadow me because they want to be an interior designer. So we're doing a beautiful trade of information, being able to get insights on what really happens in the real world on both ends. So I'm super excited about that. I'm happy that I'm getting the license, one, because then I can hire subcontractors. I'm also going to be increasing my knowledge, and also just for credibility. I want to be able to go in, talk to the plumber, talk to an electrician, know what I'm talking about, have this accountability behind me so that they take me serious. I'm sure many of you are designers in construction, and a lot of times we get dismissed, especially being female. A lot of times I'm not listened to, and it can be really frustrating. So I really just want to have that as one of those, feathers in my cap that I know what I'm talking about, and I can progress, move things forward. And I'll have more control, especially if I have my own subs. So that's super exciting for this year. Number 5, I'm finally doing a weekly newsletter for my interior design business. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I was doing it and then I wasn't. So I'm getting on it, setting the intention of a weekly newsletter, sending out to potential clients, connecting them with intentional living, holistic interior design. I'm even thinking about creating a new podcast for those clients, just giving them tidbits on how they can be more mindful in their home. So stay tuned for the announcement on that. Number 6 is prioritizing self-care. Huge. Also just kind of slowing down, taking care of my health, being really positive, being in a space that feels good so that I can show up as my best self. And I'll dive in deeper into different practices and that kind of thing later on in the year, but that's a priority for me. Number 7 is something that I've heard about from other designers in the past. And this is all about pre-selecting your materials and finishes at the beginning of the year, or at some point where you're really setting the intention of which brands you want to connect with, which ones you want to work with, and then pre-selecting color palettes, pre-selecting finishes, looking at items in more detail, and kind of creating a library that you're going to be working with for the year. So I will be sharing more practices and what I'm doing with that as we go on to the rest of the year. But I definitely want to try this. It's something that I've had at the top of my mind. And then our last way of leveling up is reconnecting to my intuition. I feel like I've been neglecting it just a little bit, and I'm really wanting to get in there, go deeper with it. And I definitely want to invite all of you in the Design Coven to go with me. And that's why I created the Mystic Circle offering within the Design Coven for pro members. You automatically get included in this. When you enhance your intuition, you are connecting on such a deeper level with your clients. Intuition really helps you tune in to the unspoken needs of your clients. It's about understanding their preferences on a completely other level. When I'm tapped into intuition with my client trusts me. I know right off the bat what products, what finishes, what they're going to be attracted to, and they just go all in. It feels good to them. It's completely aligned with them as a person, and it's also aligned with me and my authenticity of creating designs that are connecting with them at the center. Intuition also creates holistic and well-balanced spaces, allowing you to just really feel into the design. And another thing that it does is it streamlines decision making. When I follow my intuition, I'm not wavering. It's like, yep, that's the wallpaper, that's the fabric, that's the tile, that's the color palette. It's it's almost like I'm just receiving all this information, and it's this inner knowing. And when I'm there and I'm in that flow and I'm in that zone, I can select what I need to select for that particular client. It's the most amazing piece of design. And I know all of you have been there, especially when you're in flow and you're designing and things just line up. So when you're connected with your intuition and your subconscious in that way, things just become super, super easy. So with that, we've got Mystic Circle happening on Monday, which is the 8th of January, 5 p.m. California time. So Pacific Daylight Time. And it's going to be recorded. So if you can't make it live, know that there's a recording, there's going to be a video recording, and it will be on the secret podcast for all of you pro members that are not able to make it live. And if you're listening to this after that Monday, know that the recording is available to you as long as you're a pro member. We'll get that. So we are going to be diving into different practices of connecting to your intuition. We'll have a guided meditation to open up some doors. And then we'll have a very interactive discussion on intuition and other practices and what other people are doing and how you're using it as a holistic interior designer. With that, that is our episode today. I hope you got some inspiration from those 8 ways of leveling up. And I can't wait to hear how you're leveling up in your business. You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge, and leave us a 5-star review that helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events, so everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.